420 is crazy, by the way. Can you hear me? That's gross. Don't do that.
What are we like? The trio today: Three Musketeers, the Locks, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, if we're the Locks, who is who?
You're Jadakiss.
Okay.
I'm Stars P.
He's Sheik Luch.
Yeah.
Ironically, Sheik Luch has my favourite album of all of them.
Yeah, me too.
Silverback Gorilla.
He's never the one in the Locks I've ever given props to.
Sheik Luch.
No, trust me.
But I know people.
Get his face up, huh?
I know people love him. He's just never been.
But Jailbirds love like Styles.
Yes.
Yeah. Jadakiss was probably the best artist of the three of them.
Yeah.
But Sheik Luch made my favourite music.
He made my favourite solo album out of all of them.
So then, okay, whatever hip hop trios are there?
De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest.
Okay, in Tribe, who's
Def
who?
Squad.
If we're in Tribe, who's who?
What do you mean who's who? Oh, out of us?
Yeah.
I say you're Q-Tip.
You're damn fucking right I am, bro.
Wait, hold on.
You damn fucking right I am.
Wait, really? No.
What?
No.
You're Q-Tip.
Blatantly.
No, you're bugging. Sorry.
Blatantly.
You don't have main character syndrome.
It's not even comedy.
Oh, you're not even a main character, bro.
Wow.
You the DJ.
Oh, that's violent.
So.
That's cool.
Don't worry, you and your waist beads can have your moment.
Where would
This is episode 142 of the Div Shots podcast with myself, Raw Talk Reese, who do you have in the studio to my left?
You see, you said Gabriel, we run it. I was like, yeah, I know it's coming.
Run it back. That's why my foot's so swollen, because I keep taking pop shots at you, bruv. Studio to my left.
Hey, Mr. Oh, hey, ho.
And next to him,
2 drinks.
Kay's doing up vacation, staycation, we're not sure, but she should be back soon. Also in the studio with Gabriel and Harley, so you'll hear us talking to them as well.
name.
They don't know what she looks like.
Hey, these internet people, you know.
Bruv, you can't Google someone you don't know what they look like, bruv.
In the building.
Oh, how you doing?
I am absolutely knackered.
I can tell you took your glasses off. You look blinder than before.
Mr. Magoo.
Life is life in. Oh. But I am alive, so I'm doing something right.
The cheats keep you up, bruv. Why are you doing like that, bruv?
I'm alive, so I'm doing something right. I'm writing. So, yeah.
You right about the beads?
As much as I'm... Leave the beads alone.
The waist beads, yeah?
Leave the beads alone. All right.
Is that what the beads said?
They were a gift from my daughter, so...
Oh, look what you tried to do. He thinks he's sick.
I see what you did there.
My daughter gave me these beads.
Yeah, she did.
She's trying to do a John Wick.
Say something now. That's all I got. She just keeps shooting. Mark, how are you?
I just find it funny that he's got on like the Yardie Man beads. That's all it is. You know you're too old to pretend to be Jamaican, you know. Mark, how you doing?
I'm alright. My mood's just been up and down.
I'm the same, bro.
I'm just like, 1 minute I'm cool, next minute I'm nah. But last Thursday I watched John Wick.
I heard it got 10 out of 10. Is it 10 out of 10?
I want to watch it again.
Okay, cool. I trust your movie breakdowns, because I think you said the same thing to me about Bullet Train. I watched it and I was like, okay, I understand.
Bullet Train was just madness, but beautiful madness. How are you, Reese?
I'm tired and rough. It's been a stressful week. And football's back this week, so I'm trying to make sure the swelling in my foot goes down so I can actually play.
Premiership's back this weekend as
Thank
well.
God for that. Internationals bore me. I'm hoping Liverpool lose this week. Sorry, Gabriel, but we move. But let's get this pod on the road. I wanted to ask you lot about something that I've been seeing for the last few weeks, and wanted to hear your opinion on it. The death of male podcasts. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I think the space of podcasting has become overly saturated, but I think it's more so because the topics...
Bit like Marvel.
Something like that. But Marvel's is more VFX issues more than anything else. I think
storyline as well.
Yeah, I think the topics with why a lot of people have said this, especially like women podcasters, because a lot of the topics are being regurgitated, and it's just the same thing with different faces. What is your thoughts on this?
It's okay to switch off. It's okay to switch onto a different podcast. Like, not everything's for everyone. That's the way I see it. Like, it's like you can say the same thing with music. Like, if you don't like it, go to something else.
Facts.
But there seems to be a very specific focus on male podcasts, and it seems that a lot of it is taken just from little clips from longer, deeper conversations. Sometimes the longer conversations don't really mean shit, and what you hear in that moment is what you hear in that moment. But what it does is that, yeah, exactly. But then it's like what we were kind of talking about before. One is once you've tainted the pool, and there's been multiple moments where you've just got these little clips. People just build up this thing, male podcast. They don't really talk about shit. There's no real place for them. You know, it's just a bunch of men just talking shit.
I mean, like, it's like we said earlier, like literally, we're damned if we don't talk, and if we do talk, there's an issue. Fair enough. You can say it depends on what we're talking about. Some male podcasters I've seen, I would say they're not my cup of tea, and then other ones, some of them could have specific, like topics like football.
Specific.
Yeah, that. I knew he was gonna. As soon as I said it, yeah, I knew he was gonna go for it. Like some could talk about football.
Talk about a topic, not the ocean, but go on.
Really? Bunch of bitches. But yeah, some talk about football. Some talk about music. So it really depends on what you gravitate towards.
What the market is you're looking for.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. If you think that when men get on podcasts, they just talk a bunch of shit and it's crap, don't listen to it. In the same way that a podcast about pregnancy, if I don't want to listen to a podcast about pregnancy, I just don't have to listen to it. So what's wrong with giving people, even if they're just talking shit, because there are podcasts where men talk shit, there are podcasts where women talk shit. Why can't they just be this?
There's podcasts where women talk about sex, like hypersexuality, and there's podcasts where men talk about being baby fathers.
Why can't there just be the space for everyone to just be able to talk about what that's the idea of a podcast, I guess.
But do you think it's less about the podcasting thing for men being samey, or more so to do with the fact that the way male podcasts present themselves to women doesn't come across as something they want to hear? Because it's like, for me, like, if there's a podcast I don't want to hear, I just won't put my energy into it.
Yeah.
So is it like cool to complain, basically?
I mean, we live in a world now where people will just complain. If they don't like something, they'll complain. Rather than switch over, find something else, they'll complain about it. Then people jump on that, complain about it, and it's just like
Ofcom baddies.
Yeah, it's just like, really? Like, and then sometimes I've seen it like popular podcasts will complain about there's too many men doing podcasts. I'm like, well, it's easy for you to say that because you've made it. Like, you're up there.
And it doesn't really bother your market.
And that's the thing. For me, I don't really get it, because then you can see it as in it could be something where it's therapy for some people, where they can talk about certain things that they probably wouldn't be able to talk about on a normal day-to-day basis. They can have guests where they can, break down certain things and be like, right, I didn't know that before. So some are there to teach you something. Whether sometimes you don't like the delivery or something or whatever, you can switch over.
But do you think
it's like TV? You can.
Do you think this is more situated to it being more of like a cultural issue for like black podcasts or just podcasts in general?
I think it's black podcasts.
Black male podcasts.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I have not. I do feel for a while it feels like silencing the black man in a way. Like, we're damned if we don't say anything to support black women. Sometimes you hear that if something goes on, let's say to a black woman, and black men don't speak up about it. It's in why you being quiet for. Then if we do talk, What are you talking for? This is
Vanity,
women. This is women's
yeah.
business. So it's just like
Is there an equivalent to it being like men's business when women are in men's business?
clearly not.
Oh,
Sorry, I was really lost in a random thought about black men and unity, and if there's more black men and more unity than just ever before. But anyway, sorry. What was the question? Sorry. Go on. Sorry.
Mark, can you take my train of thought, please?
Well off.
Is there a situation where there is supporting black men, as in the same ways like protect black women? Is there like protect black men? Do you see that?
Well, I don't personally believe, I've said this before with like mental health stuff. I don't really. I think it's a fad. I don't think anyone really cares about anyone's mental health.
Well,
I think it's a hashtag and that's it.
Well, because there's the side of it of looking at it as, you know, where is that community amongst black men themselves before looking for it outside of looking for it from other people. Does that make sense?
So you're saying like, let's say within the community, there's not really that there before you go outside to look for it.
To ask for it from other people.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Because
You know, you need to complete words.
I know.
I know you got the yardie beads on, but I didn't ask for vice card to ad libs. I'm sorry. Somebody get again.
No, it's a
And it again.
Oh no on that one.
I think it's something
That's a
that
tough one.
as time goes on, like I still listen to. I think most of the podcasts I listen to are like male dominated anyway, because I want to know, if not, there are podcasts with like Jordan Peterson and him talking about like just different things and whatnot. There's football podcasts. Like there's an array of stuff I listen to which are eclectic across the board anyway. And it's not that I don't care for women podcasts. I just think that if it's not something that I want to know about,
I do feel some of the ones that are out there, the women ones, it's literally the same topics.
for me, I don't listen. I don't listen to them, so I don't know.
For me, but the one I do like, and it's not really women based. It's both. It's black men and black women. It's dating black. I think my sister's, one of her youngsters, I think she set it up, but I really like it because they're talking to women and they're talking to men, and then they get their reactions as well. So I do like that. But then some ones I don't want to hear about relationships.
I do listen to some
time.
wayward ones like Just Pearl, or like there's just some wayward pods that I will listen to just for the sake of it. Like
Yeah.
Baby Daddy's a really interesting pod, and I think it's more so because it's just like the gauge of the man's experience of his relationship with the mother of his child, whether it's positive and negative. And obviously it's not meant to be for
I think that's
entertainment.
important, though.
It's not obviously there for entertainment, but you can really feel the pain of like a man who wants to see his kids and the mum not allowing him to see his kids and the legal process, and then just talk about it. There's episode where the guy literally can't stand the mother and her mother, and you can hear the spite in his voice, but it's pain, innit? That in itself is a therapy element.
Yeah.
So it's more like I'm watching that, like, God forbid, like I end up in that situation in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's more one of them ones where you're kind of listening to kind of see, like, listening to learn the experiences of everybody else.
Yeah.
Can you listen to a full podcast without watching it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
depends on what. So, for example, when I'm coming here, or if I'm going somewhere, depending on if it's football, I need to listen to music. But for example, I was listening to Filthy Fellas on the way here, so I'll watch most of it sometimes. But if I'm in my house and I'm doing stuff, it's just audio, whatever. If I'm on transport, I'm audio. It depends. It really does depend. But I don't mind. I think the visual elements, or sometimes if I listen to a podcast and there's something in a podcast where I'm like, that sounds funny, but I want to know what it looked like, then yeah. And I think having the option of the two is important. But podcasts are meant to be listened to. The visuals are just there if you're a visual person overall.
Yeah, I mainly listen more than watch, because I either I'm on the move or I'm laying listen to it and do something else.
I'm not your gal. I don't need to know the information, bruv.
See, am I not allowed to?
I'm not your gal. I'm not your gal, bruv.
Black man, I'm just
I'm not your gal,
Hey.
bruv. Don't tell me what you do in your yard. I'm not your gal.
laying.
I'm not your gal,
I
bruv.
was comfortable.
I thought you were gonna say something weird.
I was comfortable.
I thought you were gonna say
I
laying
was in
pipe.
bed, laying down.
Wow. Whoa. Hey, yo, whoa, buddy. Hey, live your life. Don't live mine. Man said laying what?
Lava! I thought we was out here like Super Mario or something, laying pipe.
I'm sorry, wait. So man, them don't lay down, yeah.
So about Ofcom, what was you talking to me about Ofcom? You talking about Ofcom?
That's what you did there. Doot. Ofcom set to police Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime Video with new government bill, which actually means that they're gonna try and dictate what you're trying to go try and watch. Like, say if something's a 15, they're gonna make sure people of age are meant to be watching it.
That's a myth because BBC can't even do that.
Precisely.
If I watch something on BBC iPlayer, they can't do that.
Now,
I don't know how they're gonna do it,
that's-
but
that's
it's gonna
not
be in their
even-
terms and conditions.
That's not something that
You can't do it because streaming
actually
things is
do.
separate from
Yeah.
the rules of streaming is completely different from TV.
Well,
They were pissed, bruv.
they're drafting a media
you think
bill.
You think this country's happy at the fact that most people don't watch normal TV? They watch things on streaming services, so less people pay TV license.
So they're trying to get them. They're trying to get.
No, but
involved.
they put it in the TV license now. Even if you're streaming, you should pay a
Streaming
TV license.
BBC.
No, it's not just BBC.
I have an aerial, so I'm not doing it. I've never paid TV license in my life. Never paid TV
Nah,
license.
that's not something that would be possible.
Never paid it.
First of
I
all,
refuse to pay it.
That's Netflix.
You're freaking low, man.
Isn't it? You should have
I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. Everything is on streaming platforms. Prime,
So you never had
Netflix.
TV.
I have a TV in my room with no aerial because everything is streamed.
Everything is streaming.
And you've never had a TV working ever.
Not from when I was a kid.
Why are you trying to get him arrested?
Yeah, you're trying to snitch him up right now.
But I watch streaming a song, you know. Don't do that.
The pending change to the rules will see Ofcom begin to regulate platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus,
But I thought
Prime
Ofcom was just
Video,
for TV when them old
to
biddies
protect
complain
audience from a wider range of harmful material, such
Yeah,
as
they're fine.
misleading health claims.
They're
Time out.
finding a way to get themselves
all right,
involved.
so
to
let me ask a
basically get
question,
some of
yeah?
that money.
You're basically talking about monetizing the internet, basically, yeah?
Yeah,
You know there's people that watch porn, right? Are you going to monetize porn?
but they're always
websites?
trying to monetize porn.
But you can't. Are you 18? Click the book, yes. What now?
No,
I can watch the video.
Now I'm bashing it.
just load up my tit job and move on.
What, whoa, what the fuck did you just say?
Line up my what?
What did you just say?
Line up my what?
What did you just say?
What did he say?
Oh, that sounded crazy.
Nah, you're gonna have to explain.
That sounded crazy. What? Load up my what?
Mad specific.
Tit job.
Oh, you're 22.
It was just there. It was literally just there. I don't know why.
Mark,
It is a
Mark.
subject.
you know that meme, yeah, where the white guy turns his head and just starts blinking bare? That's
What?
I just don't think it's possible. You can't monetize the internet.
Yeah.
Because that kind of goes into not a human rights thing, but it kind of goes into freedom of speech thing. You can't monetize the internet. What people want to watch, people will watch. Or the loophole, what people are doing anyway, they're using VPNs.
Yeah, but I reckon the government they're moving to that next. I reckon.
That's Ofcom going. So that's Ofcom going against Disney. That's Ofcom going against Amazon
And Netflix.
and Netflix, who aren't small fish in this streaming thing.
No, it's going to be a war.
They're not baby boys.
It's impossible. It's impossible because again, like you just said, that's basically trying to now police the internet, and then that starts to open up.
Well, last week we talked about them trying to police our phones.
And then this week we're talking about them. I've got that actually, forget all that. Not even policing that. This is fine, but them trying to grow chicken in labs are not fine.
What? I'm sorry. They're,
You don't know this.
Lab-grown chicken has been approved as safe to eat in brand new breakthrough. Lab.
LAB. Like Dexter.
Not from
Not from.
a chicken.
No.
Yeah.
Random question before we get to this topic. Oh, you see when you cook chicken, yeah, or when you season chicken, do you boil the meat or do you just wash it?
Do I boil it?
So I know some people.
Hot tap.
So I know like some people who are black. Yeah, I'm not gonna bait up where they're from because it's gonna become problematic. Right? Yeah, I'm not trying to be that person who looks like I'm sending from nations. Yeah.
They know who they
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they know.
I think like you see with Caribbean, obviously we'll wash the meat with like lemon juice and vinegar, for
Vinegar,
example.
yeah.
But I know of a collection of black people.
I love the PC where you're just trying to like just plod along to this.
Gabriel's making me laugh because I can't see him, I can hear him. A collection of black folk who believe that, regardless, obviously, when you put it in the oven, it burns away bacteria, but they boil their meat. Is that in your?
So
My remit of what I do
can
is-
I interrupt you? So boiling it as in don't clean it, just boil it
While
and then add the seasoning to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, ain't it just mushy then?
but you change the texture of the meat.
Nah, yeah, you do, but
Yeah.
I know you're saying that, but they don't. It's not to clean it. So like you see, Nigerians, we will boil the beef before frying it. Like that's like
That thing must
Yeah.
taste like leather.
No, it's not. It's not.
What's that Drake song called? Tuscan leather.
No, it's not. It's not because you boil it and then when you put it in the stew, it kind of slow cooks. So
It's a
way
slow
more
cook
tender.
thing.
Like it's like way more tender.
That thing in my head tastes like rhino back, bro.
That must be like tissue.
No,
paper.
'cause Once it's fried, it
Tissue
goes in the
paper.
stew, so it's like it
Yeah,
slow cooks.
I have heard.
Is
of
it
the
only
practice.
just beef, or is it all meat?
Loads of meat. When it's an assorted meat stew, it's everything. It's literally everything.
Listen,
But none of the meat is. The only thing that will be tough will be like the chicken. But there's like.
That's why I said chicken.
But they're called. There's a type of chicken. It's called Plevera legs, and they're like no meat on it.
The lab grown ones.
Yeah.
I said yeah.
The
The
lab-
lab grown one is like
I
yeah.
think Plevera legs are lab grown because I've never seen chickens that thin. Like,
Malnourished.
yeah, no, they
So it's just bone.
yeah,
It basically be like yamming chicken foot.
but people like it though. I just yeah.
Have you eaten chicken foot before?
It's an African and Caribbean.
No. I was going to say no. Harley was like no, not me. No, chicken foot. Disgusting. No,
I mean, the
You
look of.
brought it to the stew.
Oh, shut up.
that's crazy. Just look at them. Yeah, Gabriel. So when we're mixing this new song, the claw is just in her gums and that, bro. I was thinking, raw. Is that what you're on? Crazy.
You had cow foot.
Nope.
No, I've never had it.
Smelt it and I was just like,
But then obviously, like malish water. A lot of people don't eat malish water.
What's that?
Goat soup.
Go soup.
Goat head soup, to be specific.
Oh, what would shaki be to Caribbean?
I don't know what shaki is.
It's sheep.
Trap.
It's the sheep's.
Like-
Yeah. So then,
Yeah.
for example, like with goat's head soup, some like there's tripe in it, like that's
Yeah,
from like the
shaki,
goat.
yeah.
But then I think a lot of Caribbean people are like nah because they just put anything in the soup. So I always have this joke about like apocalypse here and could you kill animals to kind of survive? It's like, no, I was like, okay, cool, live off beans then. cut off that goat's head with vim, bruv. Big cutlass, chicken. You know what I mean? Real musketeer techers there, bruv. Just took off the head. But yeah, sorry.
Or hit the lab, innit?
So yeah, lab chicken. Are
Hit
you
the
eating
lab,
at home?
hit the lab. I'm not. That's not. It's fine. It's fine. But again, it's a sign. It's a sign of the
Playing
way
God.
that things are changing. One, the way that things are changing, and two, that things that are probably in the next few years just going to be acceptable.
I think people eat it. Still.
Doesn't that kind of open up a realm of like people, like government, kind of being in control of what you can and can't eat?
There's already lab foods already.
Of course.
It's mad. Organic
Do
food.
you know what? You see certain things like bananas and whatever,
Yeah,
yeah?
it's that, yeah.
What they're meant to, even cauliflower, is not meant to look like that. So
I mean, we got grapes without seeds.
yeah, that's crazy to me.
You know what I mean? Organic food is now on sale alongside everything else. Just
There's grapes that taste like candy floss.
That baffles me, man.
Oh,
They're crazy though.
No,
Crazy.
They are nice,
no,
but-
they are nice. No way.
Exception to the rule, yeah.
Gabriel's got the maddest sweet tooth, you know.
It's like crack.
I'm surprised.
I know what they make those in.
You know what? You know the thing I
I'll
like
take it
here.
all.
Like I remember, like, so I always remember this year from when, because obviously we're talking about food and whatnot. Because obviously I believe about apples and whatever thing. I always remember this from when I was younger. Like when I went to Jamaica, and I ain't been in Jamaica for. It's embarrassing to say, but 20 plus years. And I remember going, and obviously Jamaican apples taste completely different
Yeah.
than any apple I've ever had. They look like pears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like pears. And then
I remember the first time I saw it.
I was explaining it to G Money the other day. She's like, Jamaican apples. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot you Grenadian, Bajan people don't know about them thing there. Yeah, you and your pawpaw, papaya and that, man, weirdos. So the things about that big, what? The things about like what that big, yeah. And it literally looks like a pear but red. I remember the first, like I remember the taste of this, and I've not had it since 1999.
There's that. I remember tasting Guinness for the first time.
Sensational. Guinness
Beautiful.
and Guinness and lychees are like Guinness, lychees, and dragon fruit are top tier fruits.
Dragon fruit.
Yeah.
I don't meet many people. I like it as well, but I don't meet many people that like
Most
it.
people don't know what it is.
It's like a subtle kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another mango as well, yeah. Like you have the general honeydew, the cantaloupe, watermelon, and there's another mango, but I can't remember what it's called.
African one.
I think so, and it's really nice, but I can't remember what it's called.
Like,
It looks, the inside of it looks a bit like, it's a different colour, like purpley. But like there's certain fruits where you're just like if, for example, if you go to a supermarket and you're looking for like tropical fruit, racist, they all cost
Exotic.
more.
Exotic
that's it.
fruit.
It's the same thing, man.
The black section in the supermarket.
World foods.
One, two crackers.
World
plantains.
World foods.
what about sour salt?
That's sensational.
Yeah.
But I like the drink.
It's too expensive, man.
But the drink.
No, it's like £14 for one.
Yes, I know.
Like, it's
But it's like saltfish. Buy saltfish is expensive. All things that are like bullful. Buy us for us. Yeah. if you've seen what you call it, how high?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the only one could do it. Bullful. But yeah, Gabriel will be eating genetically modified chicken. Harley,
Not around here.
I don't know what pros are there to it.
we don't know.
Superpowers.
No, but is there a reason? Like, it's not like from. It's still gonna be actual live chickens, right?
Yeah, apparently.
So I don't get
No,
it.
it's not gonna be live chickens.
Oh,
It's just the meat.
there's like
So it's
3D
just the meat,
printing.
so it's good for vegans and these man here. Because
No.
you're not killing anything.
Are you vegan?
No.
Oh, okay.
But like,
It can't be good for. No, vegans wouldn't eat it.
they wouldn't eat, but it's not being killed. It's not an animal being killed.
Yeah, but it's still meat.
It's chicken DNA, innit?
It's actual like,
It's DNA of chicken, yeah.
It's like Jurassic Park.
I don't know.
It's IVF basically, no? Like,
I think you could
And
put it
if
that
the
way.
chicken's dead. It's just the meat.
Mark, cuz?
It's just the meat.
wait, the chicken's dead. It's just
They're gonna make
No,
it.
they
They're
don't
gonna make
raise
it.
They don't raise it.
They're gonna make it in the lab.
No.
Oh,
It's not like a
must-
chicken that grows from a little one, then it grows up, and then they kill it, then it's a chicken. They're just meat.
You're gonna make how?
Yeah,
They're
just
just
meat.
making
make the breast.
the meat.
I'm thinking in my head,
Let's
yeah.
make the breasts.
Wait. Have you seen Spy Kids before?
Chicken
Spy
thigh.
Kids. Ah, Spy Kids.
You never
Yes.
watched it.
Well, you've seen Spy Kids?
1,000 times.
Alright, cool. You've seen Spy Kids, yeah?
Yeah.
You know in Spy Kids where they have that microwave where you fling in the little bead and it comes up like McDonald's? Maybe it's like that. Like it's like a saturated
That's gonna be the
burger and
future.
chips.
That is
Maybe
gonna be
it's
the
like
future.
that. Like
That's the thing. If it's like actually like how that is for a reason, then maybe. But if it's just for no reason, and like
What reason?
I don't know, like that.
What is the reason?
Like,
Because if
What was
chickens
the
are
reason?
if chickens are running out, then
if
I
you're running
get
out
it.
of chickens,
Like
and it's like this is like helping us kind of control that. Then yeah, but if there's no reason,
I'm not gonna lie to you, everyone's eating it.
I think everyone's
you
eating
don't
it.
realise, it might be a
You won't
film where they
even
just
know,
push
like-
it
but
in, yeah.
let's be clear.
We was
Man
eating a
them-
horse.
Man them went to fam. And that meat was great, bro. Listen, I don't like
burgers.
horses, but that thing tasted sensational.
We were eating
Made
horse.
me leaner as well, bro.
Everyone.
Oi,
when?
like
Don't
4
remember?
years ago,
Yeah,
we was eating
and
horse
like,
meat.
Tesco's
The thing was
was really
lean. The meat was lean, but I've never looked so good in my life. In the gym, I looked good, bro. I had like 9% body fat and I was bulky. Oh. You think them bees around your neck would have just Give me.
The beaded one.
All right, let's go into something darker, yeah? Before like we started recording, me and O was talking about like mortality and if you ever think about if we ever think about dying.
It was just when was the last time you thought about your own mortality?
As in, think about dying.
Living, dying. Mortality doesn't necessarily have to be about.
I think about it.
Respectfully, you two are close to the stairs, so I'm not really surprised.
Well, technically, Reese.
Oh, that's just clock. Oh, that's foul.
Whew. It can happen anytime.
I'm not letting it go.
That hurt, innit?
That one bit the fuck out of me.
Do you go through your tunnel?
Gabriel laughed because Gabriel went. Gabriel was like, I don't get it. And he went, oh shit, that's foul.
You go through the tunnel first. The stairs are like afterwards now.
No, the close to the stairs, like.
Gabriel,
Oh,
allow it, man. What are you doing?
Yes, man. Whose side are you on?
We don't have to ask questions.
We passed the tunnel.
When you die, you go up the stairs, innit? Like,
Ain't the tunnel like birth?
You go through the tunnel first.
when you're born.
Yeah.
After you die,
No,
as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
that's a valley. That's not a tunnel.
Gabs, just allow it. You're making it worse.
There's a valley.
So when you don't go up the stairmaster, what you saying?
I'm practicing in the gym. Boy.
Wave after wave, wave after wave.
To be honest, it sounds a bit dark, but I do think about death quite a lot.
Because you're the hot stepper.
I'm the hot stepper.
Yeah, you're hot stepping up the stairs.
Nah, man. I hate that workout thing in the gym, the steps. But I'm getting used to it, because you never know.
Wow.
I'm ready.
But by the time you got maximum cardio walking up the stairs.
Stay
anyway,
ready.
bruv.
Cast me out of here, boys. I'm ready.
Young escalator and that, you'll be fine.
But no, I do, and sometimes it's a bit scary. But then, like, life, there's no guarantees. I could drop dead tomorrow. So, like, I could live for God knows for how long. So, it's easy to say that, but then it's easy to say, yeah, you should enjoy your life while you can. But then, thoughts like, oh, what's gonna happen? How am I gonna go? What's gonna happen to the people that I love? Like,
What scares you the most about death?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, not, so,
he's John Wick, so
South London.
nah.
South London over there.
death, calm.
No, you know what? I think in my early 20s, I had like a near-death experience. I had two, right? Yeah. So because I had a near-death experience and then I lost people when I was young, my brain went, when it happens, it's gonna happen. It's not. I can't fear something which is inevitable. Like,
Yeah.
I can't live a life where I'm scared of dying because you're going to die. And what they say, things that are inevitable in life: death, the raise of taxes, and I think there's something else. Like,
Death and taxes.
yeah, I think those are the two things which are like,
Inevitable. In
yeah,
life.
inevitable. So for me, I've never feared dying. I've always made the joke saying I'm stubborn enough to probably live to like 110. I'll probably like some pissed off black version of Bruce Wayne looking at like the new generation of kids in like 80 years who are named like after like binary code like 124 or something like that, or like Elon Musk child Y or Exelon or Exelon 5 or Prime or something stupid like that. Like this is how it is. I think I understand people who kind of look at their mortality as a way, because it kind of humanizes them if they feel like they're getting a bit too crazy. But I think that's why for me, even though I don't fear dying, I also have fear of life. So where I'm not scared to experience life, I also have fear, and it keeps me like in the moment to enjoy things. So there's times where, for example, I'm out, I don't need to film everything. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you live in the moment and you enjoy the moment because the memory is what you have. Like, I don't feel the need to record everything because how often are you really going to watch this back?
Yeah.
What about you, Yo?
I think a lot about the impact that I make
To people or
to
world?
people around me, to the world in general. because it's like I like thinking about that. The idea of you or something that you impart on somebody lives on through
when you're
that
gone.
person when you're not here or
Yeah.
when you're not there. Especially with me, where I work with children, so it's a lot of things that I know that I see when children come back who I used to work with, who are still like, yeah, I remember when you used to say things like that, and I remember about when I was in school and how, like, the memories that I have. So it's always nice to
Surprised you remember.
to think about how you're gonna be remembered.
It's a little droplets, you know. Always does it.
Got me out here like ego living planet out here.
Go yeah, here when you're still doing O levels, bruv. Oh, doing O levels. What the fuck you mean, bruv?
O levels, is that GCT?
Before GCSEs.
Fucking hell, Gabriel,
What
man.
my generation? I did GCSEs,
Shit.
bro.
Oh no, my parents always say that. O
Damn it,
levels.
Gabriel.
My granny did O levels, bro. Sorry, continue.
Nah, in Nigeria, it's got a worse name. It's called Wayek.
What? What? Wayek. Wow. Okay.
He's not lying either.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the impact that I leave on the world.
I think that's a good way to look at it, though. Like, I wouldn't say it's a legacy, but it's the impact you have on other people's lives.
Yeah. And that I think, like, kind of like you were saying, where I kind of sometimes get stuck in my head of wanting to go out and enjoy life, but then just kind of just staying in and trying to enjoy the little things in life, but kind of, again, just staying inside my own head and not doing that, but then realizing I'm not doing that. And then you just start going back and forth with yourself and realizing, okay, so 2 days have gone by, I've not done anything, and I could have just, gone on the what's the traveling thing that goes outside the O2.
Oh, the cable car.
Yeah, like, I've never been on that. I've always wanted to go on it just for the experience of doing
the
it.
stairs about the stairs.
Family. About the stairs.
The upper room.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't feel as old as I am. I'm really just about enjoying every single minute of just existing as I can.
So what you're trying to tell me, you have time?
I have time.
Your eyesight,
Mhm.
though.
The stairs are going up, but you're just running against the fuck off.
I said your eyesight, though. I'm just saying your eyesight ain't got time.
I think people fear how they will die
Yeah.
more than like actual death itself, because I don't know, man, sometimes like I can think about everyone in my life, like family, friends, artists, people around me, and I think, what would happen if I was to get like a crazy disease and I was dying in front of everyone?
To be honest,
Haley's face.
Crazy.
She was like, what?
No, like obviously like a big C in it. Like,
Oh no.
yeah. I think of stuff like
I used
imagine.
no, I used to think
everyone's
about
gotta
that.
watch you.
I used to think about
Yeah.
that, and then I realized like family members died. I remember when my mum died. I remember me and my older sister clashing, like, because her ideology was, I'm not acting like we've lost mum, whereas she's a
People
more
grieve
emotional
differently, though.
person.
Yeah.
And I said, it's not the fact I'm not acting like that. It's the fact of, this is the first traumatic thing that has happened to you in life. It's not the first traumatic thing that's happened to me. So I said, the difference of this is my brain is prepping for the after. So it's not, okay, we've lost mum and we're mourning. I'm mourning too. I just function better than you do.
More solution based.
So I said, this is what you have to understand. We're going to go through this process. We're going to bury mum. And then what's going to happen is, you know what happens the day after we bury mum? 'Cause what's that? Everyone goes back to work. we have to figure this out.
Mm.
And that's the realness of it. The love is there, the way you're born is there, but people's lives go back to normal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you got to say. You got to live for your moment and live for yourself, innit?
And
No,
I think
and
we.
it's not to say. I was gonna say it's not to say that you can't have the emotion. But
Yeah.
Just to say that you're not having emotion, it doesn't mean you're not actually feeling it and going through it, going through it your own way.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it before. Like literally, it's all nice the people that come and try and support you within that time, but it's also nice them same people being there after.
Yeah.
It's the after process as well. Like, don't just be there for the day and then I don't see or hear from you at all.
And,
I got amount of people that checked on me since my mum passed, and I'm anti and aggy.
Yeah.
I'm anti because I'm like, listen, I've got to figure this out. Like, you have to also understand how people want. Everyone mourns different. Like, even checking in on whatever. You know what I mean? Just the process. But people have their own lives, so I don't put on anyone to make sure I'm okay all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even like, I think you mentioned obviously when we talk about morality and legacy, for example, yeah, the person who kind of has their legacy kind of destroyed, especially in the last 2 years, is Noel Clarke. So
I can't believe it's been 2 years, man.
it's been 2 years. Noel Clarke when they say, I think Noel Clarke is the definition of when cancel culture supersedes the internet.
Yeah.
So he had 2 of his shows cancelled. His production company basically shut down. Hasn't worked properly in 2 years.
Got his BAFTA award, I think, rescinded.
No, he still has his BAFTA.
He still has it?
his BAFTA.
Okay.
And basically the issue was he was accused of unsolicited behaviour, harassment towards women, 20 women,
Yeah.
which at face value is completely crazy. But with most of these situations, the one thing that nobody ever applies is context. You just go by buzzwords and the information provided. And one of the most important ones has been, since obviously 2 years has been on, which he's kind of come out and interviewed recently, is the fact that though The Guardian put out an article about said behaviour between consecutive women, he was never charged. Police have never spoken to him. He's just been cancelled by the people around him.
Do you think it was right for them to even mention his name without being arrested? Because he mentioned, I saw the interview he done with Zizi, which was a very good interview. That there was a soap star that
Recently that's been arrested, but they don't say his name.
Yeah.
I think so basically when some of these things happen, they usually give the person a heads up to see if they can respond.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could put a super injunction or an embargo so that it doesn't affect court of public opinion. Because, for example, Noel Clarke's one going to court, if he was charged or whatever, if he's not a likable person, you're gauging it on the fact that you don't like him based on his public image.
You're guilty, yeah.
He's never been charged.
No.
He's never spoke to him.
We're not talking like Stephen Bear, who fucking put a video out of his ex-partner on OnlyFans, of them two having sex, and then put it behind a paywall on OnlyFans and things like that without her knowing. We're talking about someone who was accused, right? Yeah, because I said, listen, and some people are like, oh, Reece, you're being insensitive. You're telling me 20 people said that this guy had made sexual advances or unsolicited behaviour,
Some of it was, I think, with bullying as well.
Or bullying, ECT. None of it was ever reported to the police. None of it. Guardian newspaper only was the article. So 2 years you've just destroyed someone's you've destroyed someone's ability to make money. You've destroyed their company virtually, but it's not gone through the legal channels in any capacity.
That is insane. Listen, we've known over the last.
I feel like we've had these conversations.
Even
far too
he
He even said,
cancel
hold that
culture
thought.
is-
Even hold that thought. He even said, even especially during the Me Too era, which is what 2017, 2018, his name didn't come up.
Listen, the ability to cancel somebody is insane. that he's never been charged.
Nope.
The police have never spoken to him. It's just people who are coming out and saying these things to the point where it's now become the story.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question as well?
Are people that stupid?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
mean-
world we live in.
Yeah.
So
People
rhetorical.
don't. The thing is, it's like critical thinking. Like if you look at the world now, and everything that goes on, yeah, in every facet of life, which are like things that you see in politics, which is left field and whatnot, everything is based on feelings. So let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna ask Harley as well. I'll ask everyone in this room: what do you class as harassment? Because I'll find a dictionary equivalent of it, but what do you class as harassment?
Unwanted advances or physical contact, basically.
Mark,
I don't want that.
You double on that, yeah.
you can't go off the look, can you? Absolutely not. I can tell. Go on.
Unnecessary. Like say if I say stop or no, and then continue.
Okay, Gabriel.
Yeah, I'll say like aggressive pursuit. Yeah.
Okay, so before I even give you the dictionary equivalent, I'm going to ask questions in the room. Is wolf whistling harassment to you?
I think nowadays it is.
Is that ever catcalling?
Yeah, cat
Yeah,
calls
that's-
Wait.
I think now that
Walk on. Hey, my size. Hey,
you can't even do
Hey.
anything now.
hey, yo. Buff things. Hey, yo.
Browning,
You.
Beads.
You.
Younger beads.
you with the beads.
Fat pom pom girl. I've heard that one before.
Oh jeez.
What is catcalling what?
Would you
Cat-
class cat calling as harassment?
But it is now.
Sexual harassment.
Or harassment.
It is harassment now.
It is,
Yeah.
It's by law. It's
By law,
harassment.
it's harassment. Right, yeah. Because the problem I always have is the definition of how words and meanings get used.
Depends on the cop. Like,
If you go to a girl,
That's a thing.
oh, babes, your boobs, oh, you got a lovely set of jugs on your like, then yeah, it's a bit of a techie one still.
You know the classic.
Depends on
You know the
what
classic
serious.
woman walking past the work site and the
Yeah.
workman like, oi, yeah, your head love parents. You know
Yeah.
that type of.
Just harassing, isn't it?
So basically,
But the definition of that, it's now widened because obviously that's
The umbrella.
That's basically the old school pinnacle of what it is. But now it's deviated from that type of obvious. Oi, look at a pair of jugs on her. To
So the meaning
You
of the
know.
word harassment,
in the same way that you could again, someone said, you know what, your bum is looking nice though. That could be classed as harassment.
or ripe.
All right.
Ripe. It's a
Ripe.
listen, let me tell you something. That's harassment right there. But again, it's a thin line because
Looking kind of
saying-
juicy
saying,
still.
excuse me,
All right.
right.
Ripe. I said
Oh.
ripe. Yeah.
Your body's ripe.
saying, excuse me, you're
Like fruit.
you're
Yeah.
looking nice in the rump area, and yeah, your body's looking ripe. It's so two different things.
So then, okay, the dictionary equivalent, yeah, is aggressive pressure or intimidation. Yeah. So what Gabriel basically said,
Yeah.
Aggressive
meaning of-
pressure.
yeah, or intimidation. Then to harass someone, to subject persistently and wrongfully to annoying, offensive, or troubling behavior.
Okay.
But that's also subjective to the person.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a thin line.
Between love and
Yeah,
hate.
they can't be like an objective. Yeah, it makes,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, dun. It's a fi-
It's not across the board. It's a thin line. Because someone could be like, oh, I could be talking to, say for example, O and I work together, and I'm just like, bro, like, you needed to be here for 9 o'clock. Like, you're not here at 9 o'clock. I'm bullying. I'm being aggressive. You're harassing me because, you know what I'm trying to say? If I now say to Harley, for example, I need a song turned in by 9 p.m., like, I felt a bit intimidated by his decorum. No, we have a job to do.
it's subjective to the person who is feeling it. Oh wait, that was a memory right there. Oh, you touched the nerve.
Holly was like, God
That's my
damn.
shit right there. That happened.
How did you know?
That sucked.
Like, but you know what I'm trying to
Tight
say?
deadline
Like,
that was.
I think the problem right now is it's how people understand assertiveness. So right now, everybody wants things delivered in a very meek and low.
No base.
I really need to make sure that you
things
get.
like catcalling, I feel like you can draw the line.
No,
one wants to be
catcalling. No,
catcalled,
no,
you know
but
what I mean?
catcalling. We're not even arguing catcalling because I said
Yeah.
if we're talking about harassment in
Yeah, that's
itself,
just harassment,
it's
yeah.
harassment itself. It's subjective to the
Some
person.
cultures,
No,
they
but-
appreciate catcalling.
No, but no
It's
one
not.
needs that. Do you know what I mean? No one wants to be shouted on the street.
Some women like that, you
In
know.
Some cultures, they appreciate
You'll be surprised.
I'm being
It's
serious.
subjective,
I'm being
yeah.
serious. Some women like
You
that.
don't want to walk down the street and someone's just shouting at you.
A lot of women.
Yo, buff ting!
The thing is, this is the issue of.
In England, maybe
This,
not.
by the way, this is the issue. This is the issue. This is the issue I have. Yeah. See with like.
Yes, I am.
You see with a lot of men. Yeah, a lot of men go by the rule of thumb. Yeah. Whereas I feel like when you come across a lot of women, women speak like they all think in a linear way. Like all of you think in the same exact way, and what is law for you is law for all women. It's not. So then what ends up happening is because you lot don't have like an equal footing where you're all like as a collective of women or as a race or ECT, we all feel this way and this is how we all feel. Because you don't all feel that way, it gets problematic. If we all in this room as men feel like we can disagree with each other, but be like, you know, we understand why that, yeah. We all have like a group think tank of that is wrong, that is right. You have wayward people who are exception to the rule, but if you're going by the rule of thumb of generic, most of us think a specific way. Women don't all think the same specific way, and that's where it becomes into a really awkward.
It's like it's even like, for example, like some people can call their girl like my bitch. Right?
Crazy,
Some
yeah.
people can say I think it's mad.
Crazy,
Yeah.
But some people say that.
crazy.
Some people say that's my bitch.
Last time I heard that was Busta Rhymes and Alama gave me the what's that tune? Busta Rhymes and Gabrielle Union.
Oh, my chick.
Yeah, but it was I Love My Bitch. It wasn't
Yeah,
I Love My
yeah,
Chick,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Or, like, but some people, like some girls would be like, I don't know, sis, you can't talk to you like that's disrespectful. But
Yeah,
To you
everyone's
it's
different,
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's different for other people.
but to her it's not.
Oh,
She
boy.
wants to be called my bitch. Like
First of all,
What we say in the bedroom is what we say in the bedroom. That's what
What we say when the bees are around my waist is what we say when the
what
bees
we say
are.
when the beads are pop. What we say when the beads are popping. That's what we say when the beads are popping. You know what I mean?
Your bees don't pop though.
You know what
so
I mean?
alright. But question: is harassment one way?
No, it's not. But I don't think men. I keep on saying this. Men won't moan about harassment because they'll be like, "Well, allow it, man. Just whatever. Like, go away." Whereas women are just kind of like, as I said, I don't think it's bad for what's going on. I feel like there has to be people have to learn and educate themselves on old patterns of behavior.
Yeah.
But it's also based on there being a linear understanding for how to approach someone, whether it's in an office space, whether it's outside, whether it's because what's happening now is you can see a lot of men, society pulling back with their engagements for women because someone's like, oh, but you should know what behaviors are wrong, what behaviors
They
are
feel like they
uncomfortable,
don't
and
know
what.
how to.
Yeah, but they'll say, you know, some behaviors
Everyone's
are
different.
awkward and what behaviors aren't. And I'm like, no, there's some behaviors which are universally wayward.
Yeah. Out of
And there's
pocket.
some behaviors where you'd be like, well, I think you're really nice. I feel uncomfortable with that. And it's based on if the woman's attracted to you, whether they take on board what you say. So if I'm like, oh yeah, Harley, you're really pretty today, like, you need to relax, go away from me. Like, that's not harassment.
No, yeah.
But for some women, that's because I don't find you attractive, it's harassment.
It's the same thing I think we spoke time ago where there was a picture of, let's say, a guy that worked out, looked good, whatever, blah, blah. And he said, oh, you had a really nice dress on, blah, blah, da, da, da. And some women maybe go, oh, okay, cool. And then you have a guy who's the total opposite. He say the same thing. And it's just like, oh my gosh, yuck, move away from me type of thing. So it's just like, it sometimes depends on who is delivering what message.
It depends on if the person's attracted to that person when they make the thing.
But back to Noel Clarke.
I think it's a mad one, yeah, because ultimately, like,
No evidence.
I think because legally
I'm really surprised.
he
about
hasn't
that.
been charged, or legally, like, even the information they put out, like, oh,
And he got dropped like a bad
there
habit.
wasn't enough due to not a lack of information, the case has been dropped. But he said it's not. That's what they spun. There's no lack of information because I was never pulled into a police station.
Ain't the Guardian newspaper been violating black people?
But I think he's suing the Guardian because he had a case on the BAFTAs, but he said ultimately the BAFTAs did what the BAFTAs
Yeah,
did.
he says he's
But ain't the Guardian's the newspaper black people are against though, right? Like they put out like incorrect things, no? Or which one is it that puts out like?
Well, I know he's got a case against the Guardian, but
I'll talk about Dave and like put a picture of Stormzy or something. Like
Or
that's every
Stormzy
media outlet.
Stormzy and Lukaku.
BBC do that. No,
Sun,
BBC do that.
Sky does it a lot as well.
Sky.
Yeah,
Bro.
Sky, BBC, all of them.
When did we
Times,
all take, when did we
it
all take
happens in
like
all places.
newspaper like articles as like solid evidence for why someone should be cancelled,
So-
especially a black person?
So then here's the
That's
thing.
like it's like in today's age, it's like it makes it official.
No, it's not. It's before. So I'll say the renaissance of the internet. Even BBC before, not so much now. Yeah, when newspapers always did it, but it was a who, what, when, where, why. When media empire started to fall and less people started buying newspapers and you started using online forums, people don't even fact check most of their work now. So the problem is when I studied journalism, I realized this, and I realized why I didn't want to be a journalist after this. Depending on the company you work for, every company aligns themselves with a certain political group and looks at certain people in a certain way. So what ends up happening is when you're angling information to people, you angle it in a way which demonizes a subsection of people.
But leans to the house style.
Yes. So what you'll get with
That's what I learned. Exactly the same thing I fucking learned when I did journalism.
So should there be something in
Not
place?
free.
Plus, how can you fact check things now? Because when people do things in real time, it's a dangerous one. Do you remember when, like for example, if you want media news and you want media news like this, yeah, TMZ are the only people who are fact check. Like they're not fact check, but they're rarely ever wrong. Jason Lee put out the Queen died 2 months before the Queen died, and he's like, and he had to apologize.
I do remember that.
You see what I'm trying to say? Like, you don't, like, it's very rare that even the big media outlets, Sky, whatever, fact check anything.
'cause
They
I would
just-
say
they-
this-
They're viable sources where you expect them. Remember Sky Sports back in the transfer deadline day. If it's on Sky, it means something.
Yeah.
Now, we go to Fabrizio.
Yeah.
Fabrizio's the guy. You believe Fabrizio. You don't
Yeah.
believe Sky.
When I see done deal, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
he's on it. But it's the same things like Jonathan
Majors.
Majors.
That story's crazy.
I stepped back and I thought, okay, I want to know more information.
I was sad when that popped up. And
I
said-
was, and then I was just like, you know what? Let me wait and to see more
They
information.
let me know how wild people work. They'll be like, oh, a guy that size can't be out here choking white women, and the rest. Or he's going to be doing up Tyler Perry films after this. This might be the quickest rise and fall of an actor I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe he's 33. Don't know why they're pushing this guy. He's not even a great actor. Okay, cool. Left it.
Or I saw like, he does have that look about him.
That's
Like, what
crazy.
the hell?
That's a crazy shout for someone,
You
by
know,
the
it's
way.
scary to think. It's scary.
That's what people think.
The nastiest thing that I hate that I thought was that I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. He was doing, and this is nice to say, but as from from birth till now at this age, whenever someone is doing really well, you know some shit is coming.
A scandal
When
or
you
whatever.
would see, listen, back in the day when you would see, you remember the Black Gladiators?
Yeah.
Fine, gladiators running things for a few years, but then you knew there was gonna be some shit. Something would come out about you because you just know. Do
you think?
whenever someone's doing really,
Do you think
well,
there's a time limit?
you know,
And it seems like that.
too quick for him. He was doing too quick, too much, too quick. Gang, what? Blah 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 blah. Creed. He was doing too much. That's a nasty feeling to know that something was coming. Because he was just, do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's, because I don't even know what the actual story was or what actually happened.
The story that I'm aware of is a lady, a white lady, was acting abusive towards him. He called police, but obviously
The way the media spun it was different.
no, not even that. Sometimes you just know that when you in incidents with someone big and someone small, you naturally are just going to take him in. Obviously, he was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He was freed in the morning. No charges dropped, ECT and the rest. And the problem is, where information has come out now, news article, news cycle is very quiet because there's no story there.
He's got the video evidence.
There's no story there.
Like
It's hush hush. There's no story there. So that's where you got like
the army campaign already dropped his advert already.
Yeah, the advert with the...
Even though they knew he was innocent, they dropped it.
because everyone's like, oh, someone put out something already from years ago saying they're talking about him, and I was like, oh, if Marvel knew he was so problematic, why did they? I was thinking, you people were rubbish. And that's the fickleness.
This is
It's
the thing for
fickleness.
me. I'm sick and tired of you bringing up people and then dropping them.
But you know how this shit works, bro.
I know, and but
Everyone
it's
loves
like
to
people
come.
don't.
Everyone loves to come up. We'll take Stormzy. Right,
No,
yeah?
because all right.
Go on.
To go on that, because wasn't there an article or people like saying, "Oh, he's too feminine." They were saying he was too feminine
Because they dressed him up like Don Flamingo.
Yeah,
Which
And
is
then-
which
and then
in fairness
now-
is a very good. Which for the if you understand anime, that's a very good reference.
and for now, dropping him like a bad habit
But then
over accusations.
Because they just
Aki.
love... It's like, they're just...
accusations. Accusations is crazy. Accusations. All right, Rick Ross. Accusations. Fake accusations.
Fake. It's just... You love to bring them up and you love to see them fall.
No, you love to come up. You love them to do well. You love to fall off, and then you love to rise again.
Yeah, the comeback.
Because think about.
That's why I would always say I don't want fame. I want the money. Plain and simple.
OnlyFans.
Bang Betty Brown.
Sorry, Reese, what are you gonna say?
Nothing. I was gonna say because we got a rap soon. Yeah, I
Have
wanted
we?
to go into.
We didn't even talk about Noel Clarke properly.
No, we did speak about Noel Clarke, but I think for me, I want to get more information. So like next week when we do record, I've got more information about because where he's. I wouldn't say he's doing a press tour, but he's giving out information that we didn't know,
That was
but we weren't privy
previously
to.
unavailable,
So
yeah.
I think I want to get more information, but I think even to bring awareness to it and people to go and watch the Winners Talking podcast.
All I say is people just need
Easy
to
knows.
stop rushing to the internet all the time.
make
when-
your own decision. Critical thinking.
or just do a bit of research.
Critical thinking. The information is there. The
Tip
article's
of your
there.
fingertips.
Are people really going to get off the internet?
No.
No, we're not. But if you're on the internet, you might as well look up the information because the lie is not helping you.
Yeah, but it's easier to stay on the timeline and learn from them. That's the problem.
No. I don't like it.
Timeline ain't shit. And it's also not a real place. So,
Before we go, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this in the order of importance. What is the maddest thing you've seen this week? I'm gonna ask everyone in the room what I saw. I was like, pff. Oh, what was yours?
I saw a white woman drawing with chalk on the floor outside where I work. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. This white woman is special. Maybe she's just fallen in love with her inner child and she's just drawing with chalk on the floor. And then I realized that some dog had shit on the floor. So she circled the shit. And then wrote on the floor, your dog has fouled here. Oh, shame on you.
She got too much time on her hands. Mark, what's the weirdest thing you've seen this week?
A video of a woman shitting in the road. Only in America.
Okay, cool. Holly?
In traffic.
I've not seen nothing.
Broad daylight.
In traffic. Okay.
A car had to stop while she was doing her business.
Live life and prosper.
You've seen something, you must have.
I've seen something mad. So, obviously, my brother's your age, yeah? There was something, and then something that went viral this week about two siblings who had sex with each other. And it was recorded, and then apparently taking pictures, and then I think it was on, and then I think the brother let his friends hear, and then it's gone. It was on Twitter and everything, and then I think the mum found it. Like it's a bit. I found about this on Monday. And
What,
I was like,
brothers and sisters, like
singular, brother and sister, not brothers.
I saw pictures.
They're kids.
The boy is 14, the girl's at 16, so it's like they was probably being abused. The kids maybe like I don't know, like
That's
the
not
sister's
the-
disabled. Like I didn't obviously I hadn't seen the video, but
I saw a screenshot. Yeah, I saw a screenshot.
Yeah.
That's the maddest thing I've seen this week. But remember, as you said, John Wick, I'm desensitized to a lot of things. So
Oh fuck.
What? Nah.
that can kind of, both of me, you and I, in the same thing. Nothing's worse than that this week.
No, I saw something that I did.
What?
I saw.
I see a girl fall off a chair.
with a dildo.
A girl fall off a chair.
I see a video of a guy squirting.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Someone sent me, like a girl sent me a video of a guy squirting.
Of his
Is
bum.
How?
Is that even possible?
How, Sway? How?
What, how?
How you got a dreadlock on? You ain't got no dreadlock, Sway. How, Sway?
No, I don't even like. I couldn't explain it myself.
I don't
He
want to know.
wasn't-
A guy squirting.
Yeah, I couldn't explain it.
He wasn't
It wasn't piss.
fireman.
Milky Way.
I don't know. Like I can't piss like that. I was baffled. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Was he like a straight shooter? You could have just, you know.
I said, was he a straight shooter?
A straight-
Lightning, brother.
No,
Fire
no,
for that!
Yeah,
I said, no.
When you
Hey, Gabriel, this is what we're getting.
Just really let it go. And it kind of
This
shoot,
would be lightning, brother.
no?
Was he a straight shooter?
Squirting.
No, but this is what I mean.
Not milking. Squirting.
Big man, take your Mardi Gras beads and coach him out,
No,
bro.
but if he's coming, right?
Pause.
What? If he's coming, right? And let's say he's held it back for a bit, and as the release, he like really shoots. Isn't that
Should I
the
say
equivalent of squirting?
Your shirt to filter. Oh,
Please, I'm really.
Please what?
Isn't that Isn't that what squirting would be like for a man?
No. If a man's coming, it's coming. There's no squirt.
So what? Is he pre-cum squirting then?
You can't pre-cum squirt.
That's what I'm curious.
How can he squirt?
Thus, I'm curious.
I'm not curious about them things there.
I'd like to see it, just to say I've seen it. No, just me.
I'm curious, but I'm just like, how?
Thank you.
Because is it really squirting?
I don't know what it is.
I want to see how it's done and see if
To see if you can do it.
if it's something I could do.
what? Send it out there like,
crazy
look, I
in
tried
the
this.
dunya.
You can do it too.
What? My guy said I want to see just to see if I can do that.
I want to see if it's something physically.
This is not Blue Peter. Like, here's what I prepared earlier. Like,
And here's your Blue Peter badge for being able to squirt as a man. What?
you too can be like, oh,
I really want to see if it's something physically possible. You know what I mean? No, again.
You know, over them people that likes to unlock like new achievements for his body, bro. You're listen. This is why
I may not ever do it
Mark,
again.
this is why he'll get to the stairs before anybody else, bro. Because he's dead. Yeah, he ain't got that video. Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got shot. She shot. Wait. Okay.
Wait, ask your music question. Ask your music question before we have to wrap.
okay.
Ask your music question.
All right. Right. So you have one producer, one artist. Who?
ooh, one producer, one artist. Do we?
One producer.
Just say you're a rapper,
One
bro.
artist.
Just
I'm
say
not.
you're a rapper.
I'm not.
Just say you're a
You say
rapper.
Royce the
bro.
Five.
Just
I'm
say,
not.
Just say Royce the 5'9"
producer
and
and
A-Rod and Alchemist, bro. Just say that, bro.
Won't even go there.
Just say it, bro.
I would say producer,
Pardon?
producer,
Prod.
producer.
Thank you.
See your mouth. See your mouth. It's not working.
Beadman Sharp.
Bead man.
J Dilla
Oh, nice.
and Pharrell Munch.
Ooh.
They've worked together before, so yeah.
Ooh. Reese, you want to go? No, you go last.
Oh,
Just
easy.
thinking.
Miguel and Hitman. Not Hitman.
Hitmaker.
Hitmaker.
Really, Reese? All the people in the world, dead or alive.
What I'm gonna do? Jay Dilla and Kendrick.
That would be a nice combo.
It would be a strange one, but fine. Here we go. Rick Rubin and Lionel Richie.
I would have no. Mine would have been Prince and Tyler the Creator.
He's got 2 new songs out, man.
I've heard the song. Tyler Creator makes the best music videos. It's
Thank
exceptional.
you. He does.
I was gonna send it to O, and I was like, "Oh, it's already seen
He
it. It's a
does.
waste of
I've
time."
already seen it.
O's got the YouTube hits for that stuff anyway.
Yeah. I think they make good music both as an artist and producer.
All right, let's wrap because I know O wants to see this video and I don't want to shut my phone.
Yeah, I do.
This has been episode 142 of this short podcast. You can
Very
find this
interesting
DSP and all your
episode.
favorite DSPs, my personal favorite YouTube. You can find mine, Mark, O, Kadio's, maybe Harley's, and Gabriel's information in the description below.
Yeah.
You can find Mark and O's website links to their photography and book business in the description below. I've been Raw Talk Reese, and my left has been
The Squirtle.
fuck off. Squirtle. And next to him's been
2 drinks.
we'll be back next week.
Steady on the rocks.
Squirtle and the Beads will be back next week. Love and guidance, peace and blessings, and look after your health.
I just want to rock.
Peace and egg, Reese. 2 things you need.
Yada, yada, yada.